This is CBS 2 News at 11.
Hollywood mourns the loss of award-winning director Elia Kazan. Good evening, I'm Mary Calvi.
I'm Todd McDermott. 94-year-old Kazan died at his Manhattan home today. Twice given the Academy Award for Best Director, he stood at the very pinnacle of both Hollywood and Broadway. But one fateful decision in 1952, rightly or wrongly, also made Elia Kazan one of the most controversial figures in the history of the entertainment industry.
You don't understand. I could have had class. I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody.
His films made him an unparalleled Hollywood giant. There was a Best Director Oscar for On the Waterfront, another for Gentleman's Agreement.
Look, I'm Jewish, and you don't take Jews. That's it, isn't it?
Hey, Stella!
Elia Kazan made stars of Marlon Brando in Streetcar Named Desire, Warren Beatty in Splendor in the Grass, James Dean in East of Eden. The son of a Greek rug merchant became Hollywood and Broadway's top director. But the late actor Rod Steiger called him a father figure who betrayed the family.
It was like I found out my father was sleeping with my sister. I said, what are you talking about? No, not my father.
In 1952, Kazan testified before the House Un-American Activities Committee and named names. He identified 8 Hollywood members of the Communist Party. He'd been a party member himself for 2 years as a young actor in the 1930s.
You feel something is bad in the society, it's your duty to speak up and not duck it and not say wrong things about it. And my experience with the communists all the time was that they were concealing what was bad or covering it with false hopes.
Kazan even took out ads in the New York Times and Variety to justify his actions and urge others to do the same. The damage was done. For the rest of his life, even when receiving Kennedy Center honors in 1983 or a Lifetime Achievement Oscar in 1999, many protested the honors or defended him.
When you talk about Kazan, you're talking about a man that taught me more than anybody else did about how to make movies. You're talking about someone that I love.
Kazan kept making movies and turned best-selling books he wrote, like America, America and the Arrangement, into films. But Hollywood and Broadway never forgot his actions under the harshest of spotlights. Kazan's great stage triumphs here in New York included the original Broadway productions of Death of a Salesman and A Streetcar Named Desire. He also directed Cat on a Hot Tin Roof on Broadway. His lawyer did not give a cause of death. Again, Elia Kazan was 94. Mary?
The sports world is also mourning a major loss tonight. Althea Gibson has died at the age of 76 in East Orange. Gary Apple is here with more on the life of the tennis great. Gary.
All right, guys. Althea Gibson must be considered a pioneer of the sport, the first black woman to cross the color barrier on the tennis court, but her accomplishments went well beyond the stadium, and she spent the majority of her life helping others.
She was a trailblazing pioneer in sports, and she was a winner in whatever she did.
Althea Gibson was born in South Carolina in 1927. A self-described born athlete, she began playing tennis when she was just a child, hitting rubber balls off a brick wall. In 1950, Gibson became the first African-American player to ever compete in the National Grass Court Tennis Championships, a precursor to today's U.S. Open. The following year, she headed overseas, breaking the color barrier again, this time at Wimbledon. She lost, but came back 1 year later and clinched her first women's doubles championship title. By 1957, she was at the top of her game, winning Wimbledon and the U.S. Championship 2 years in a row, and was welcomed home with a ticker tape parade here in New York and named Female Athlete of the Year by the Associated Press.
You have to have the willingness